Okay, here is MATLAB and it's open. We're now going to show you how to assign a variable to a constant, or a constant to a variable. Let's take the variable x and let's assign it a number such as the number 4, and you see that it printed out there as x is equal to number 4. So if I type x again, you'll see that it comes up as 4. If I want to do a multiplication, I can't just type 2 times 4 and get, oh wait, you do get an answer. It's just it's not assigned. If I wanted to assign that answer, I would hit the up arrow on my keyboard. It would bring this up, and then I would go, let's assign this value to y, and then the value of x and y are now assigned, so I could now do z is equal to x plus y, and since everything x and y are defined, then z is given a value also. So in this particular video, it's for Motors Group to learn how to use MATLAB. You've seen the assignment, and you see after you hit the enter key that it is displayed the answer. We need to input some formulas, and we're going to use some very common names. We're going to start with synchronous speed, and let's assign a value to the frequency fs. So we'll go fs, and that'll stand for the frequency of the motor, and that's a common variable, is equal to 60. And there the value has been assigned. Now we might need to know the number of poles, and I can use more than one letter for it. Poles is equal to 6. So then to find out what synchronous speed is, ns, that would be 120 times fs divided by poles. I have to, if I have a capital on the poles, I've got to use poles. Capital on that, otherwise I won't recognize it. And we get our answer, ns is equal to 120. So that would be one of the formulas that you would be putting in there. And what I'd like to direct your attention to, I'm moving the cursor over here, is we have a command history over here, and here's a formula where we started doing these assignments. Up here in the upper right-hand corner is a workspace, and it's showing the names of different variables. It's called the workspace over here, the value that's been assigned to it, and the most current one goes at the top. Down here in the command history, the most current is last. And over here on the left side, you see my directory, and I've done quite a bit of work at one time with MATLAB, so I have a whole bunch of files that I use. The point of using MATLAB is to automate some of our calculations. So to do that, we use what are called M files. And M files run script. Script are MATLAB commands. You go, well, what's a MATLAB command? Well, everything we've been looking at so far is a MATLAB command. Here's, for instance, this is an assignment. So we've got that assignment. Here's the other assignment, and this is an equation where the answer is assigned to a variable ns, which is going to be used in other equations. And as long as I don't reassign a value to ns, it retains the value of 1200. So it'll be very useful for me. So I want to show you how you get this stuff, these formulas, into what we call M files. And the way to do that, I'm going to show you another way to do it. First thing we really want to do is assign values that we're going to need. And I understand I just have to highlight this, right-click it, and it says Create M File. And there is the function that's in the M file. I'd also want these added in there. This command. I guess maybe I can grab them over here. Polls, Control C. Now my editor has disappeared, but you notice I forget that one. I'll go to the end, hit enter. I'll go to the next line, do Control V, paste in polls are 6, and then I'm going to want to run this command, Control C, pull up the editor, enter, and Control V, paste the next one in. Now let's save this M file here, File, Save As. This is untitled M. We're going to call it, let's see, sync, S-Y-N-C-H. Okay, and save it. And now down here I should be able to type S-Y-N-C-H, and the file runs, showing you everything in there. Now, at the end of this particular, and we can, let's see now, where did it pop up? It should be, shouldn't I see it on my directory? There it is, sync. So anytime I want to see it, I can go over here and click on it, and it should pop up. Now, the next thing I'd really want to do is learn to get input, so I can get input from the given information, get them assigned to their values, and start doing some formula calculations. And the next thing I'd really have to do is figure out slip. So I would actually want to type the name slip here, because I want to call the next M file. So I've made a modification. Now when you make a modification to your file, see this little asterisk up here? It says it hasn't been saved yet. So as soon as I save it, the asterisk goes away. Okay, now watch what happens when I run this, because we haven't defined slip. And I can hit the up cursor key, and sync comes up, hit error, and it says an error in line 4, slip, it's undefined. So we're now going to create slip. But to do slip, we need to get some input. So we need some input information, and let's go find out from help how we do that. Help. Function browser. Yeah. Using the desktop. Let's go see what function browser does. We want input. Do they have a function for input? Net input functions, chart input, FX, request user input. Oh, it's exactly what I want. So I go, user entry is equal, this is the assignment, whatever the user entry is. Input. Displays prompt as a prompt on the screen, waits for input, and returns the value used in user entry. So this stuff in here that says prompt, I can say enter rotor speed, right? Something like that. So let's see if I can remember that. Okay, so I'm going to go, let's see, enter rotor speed, then that would be NR is equal to input, parentheses, there was a single quote. Let me double check this thing here. Where was that little help thing? Yes, it's a single quote. That's the prompt. Okay. Single quote. Enter rotor speed in RPMs. By the way, always do RPMs. RPMs. See, if I put that quote, it changes the color. It's the end of it, so I can't really do an apostrophe and RPMs. So I'll just do quote and then close it around and put apostrophe S. So that's my new thing, and let's see what happens when I hit that thing. Enter rotor speed and RPMs. You know, I needed a space after that. Let's do let's say the rotor speed is 1235. NR is now assigned to 1235. But I need an extra space in my prompt there. So I'm going to go back here and hit a couple of spaces. In fact, I'll go over here and I'll put a colon. So that'll look real cool. Hit enter rotor speed and RPMs, and let's do 600. Okay, NR is equal to 600. So now I can now create that slip.m file, which is going to be called by the first one. Let's do that. Enter rotor speed. This is the one I want. So I'm going to go over here, right-click, create M file, enter rotor speed in input, and we're going to have rotor speed. We got synchronous speed. So now we can actually do, after we get that information, we can actually do the next formula, which is second here, 4-3, which is we're going to call SLIP. I'm going to use the word slip. If we use the variable S, it might be reused somewhere else. And that is equal to NS minus NR divided by NS. I'll hit that, and that would be the end of the my program right here. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I have to make it slip. What happened here? There it is. Slip. SLIP. Well, we got this open. All these are being saved right in the MATLAB directory. Right, there's my documents, MATLAB. It's being saved right in there. And he'll slip right in here under after set lattice contents. I got quite a few, as you can see, I got quite a few M files here. So I'm going to save slip. Now that it's been saved, I can close it. Now here's what will happen. In fact, I'll close this guy here. All I have to type is sync, S-Y-N-C-H. What happened? Why is it doing this? The variable slip is also the same name. Oh, I can't name that. Thinking. This is the same name as the script. So I got to go open up. I have to open up this M file. I'll double clicking. He opens up. And I'm going to change it to S. We'll go with S. Now the file's been changed. I can save it, kill that, and do SYNCH. Now I got to enter the rotor speed. Let's see, 1200. Why don't we do 1100? And there's the 0.0833. Should look familiar to you. That means my value of N is 100. There are ways of writing putting some if statements in there. We'll play with that down the in the next few days and stuff like that. That way, if you've got one or the other based on the input, we can change the equation to come up with the correct thing. We couldn't do that in Excel. All right, that's going to close out this video. Thanks for paying attention, and we'll be talking.